In the realm of philosophical discourses, debates over the origins of God trigger numerous controversies. They probe the hypothetical entity that led to the existence of God, assuming divine existence. The argument counters the theory that an uncreated creator is a necessity for the universe to exist. Rather, it posits that whoever or whatever initiated the universe must also be subject to the same rules of creation. This argument, however, might engender a problematic cycle of infinite regression, where every suggested creator of a creator would conceivably need a preceding creator. This conundrum gives rise to the well-known challenge to the theistic belief of a divine creator as the indispensable initiating cause of the universe. Who created God? Interestingly, some religious traditions incorporate this aspect into their doctrines. For instance, Jainism maintains the ever-existing eternal nature of the universe, while Ismailism dismisses the notion of God being the first cause, due to their belief in God's unparalleled nature and the root of every existence, including abstract concepts. The prohibition of asking who created God arguably raises more questions. If queries about existence are valid, why should it become irrelevant when applied to God? By seeking to identify the originator of God, one tends to stumble into an absurd regression, possibly triggering a ceaseless cycle of inquiries about the creator's creator. If an adequate answer existed, it would inevitably lead to infinite regression. Counter to a blog response I received about God's intention in creating the universe. The question, who created God, isn't merely a diversion. This query often troubles devout individuals due to its duality and potential to challenge their faith. Theologians have contemplated this question for ages. The answer, while seemingly palpable, has philosophical nuances. Regardless of personal beliefs about the universe's beginning, it is an undeniable cosmic truth that something of prime significance is indeed uncreated. God, according to a deep-rooted secret, was once similar to us, an exalted man residing in the heavenly abode. Had God revealed himself, humans would find him strikingly akin to themselves. Striving to understand God's character, being, evolution is crucial. The popular belief that God has been eternal is what I intend to disprove. It's paramount for followers of the gospel to apprehend the nature of God and engage with him as one would in human dialogue. Indeed, much like us once, God himself, the Father of us all, once existed on earth exactly as Jesus Christ did. Religious adherents argue that God, by definition, is the uncaused cause, making the query who created God inappropriate. They insist that only created entities need a creator, so including God with created beings is incorrect. The Bible reveals God as an eternal existence. Uncreated by any person or thing, it suggests that God designed time, a concept comprehensible to our limited temporal existence that demands a start and an end. God, in contrast, exists beyond the confines of time, moving through it in a manner akin to browsing a history book. He exists in eternity, with no start or end. Atheists, however, refute this, saying that it isn't necessary to presume the universe was engineered. They propose the concept of cyclical, not linear time, where the universe undergoes an infinite sequence of cosmic expansions and contractions. John Lennox, an Oxford mathematics professor, notes that Dawkins dislikes when people echo his disbelief in God. But, Lennox argues, Dawkins has fortified such an assumption through his argument of God as a delusion. To comprehend Dawkins' stance, we first need to understand his perception of God. Dawkins' principal argument targets a created God, a concept rejected by billions, including Christians, Jews, and Muslims who believe in an eternal, uncreated God. In this context, Dawkins' argument becomes irrelevant and should be disregarded. The consensus is that the God who devised and maintains the universe is eternal and unmade, hence not restricted by scientific laws, but rather the designer of these laws and the universe. This establishes the fundamental difference between God and the universe. While the universe had a beginning, God did not.